Have you ever heard that strange rule floating around the internet? The one that says you should never, under any circumstances, listen to Thriller by Michael Jackson on a Wednesday the 25th at exactly midnight? Yeah, I thought it was just a joke, too. Another one of those silly urban legends people cook up on Reddit for attention. But what I experienced that night, it completely changed how I think about music, about fear, and about silence. It was late, one of those nights where sleep just won't come. So, I started scrolling, you know how it is, down the rabbit hole of random subreddits deeper and deeper into the weird, forgotten corners of the internet. That's when I stumbled upon it, an old forum called R Unexplained Audio, and right there at the top was a post titled, "Thriller isn't a song, it's a ritual." At first I chuckled. A ritual? Really? But this post felt different. It wasn't written like a piece of creative fiction. It read like a genuine warning. The author claimed there was a cursed version of Thriller, a version that if you played it on a Wednesday the 25th precisely at midnight, wouldn't just play. It would open something. He argued that the rhythm itself contained a hidden pattern, a kind of sonic key that, when turned at the exact right moment, created a gateway, a doorway, between the music and whatever lies on the other side. The post ended with just one line written in bold capital letters. Never listened to it all the way through. I scrolled down to the comments, and my blood ran a little cold. People were claiming they had tried it. One user wrote, "The track froze right before Vincent Price's laugh. And when it finally started again, the laugh came from right behind me." Another said they heard their own name whispered between the drum beats. I should have closed the tab right there. I should have just gone to bed. But I didn't. A few days went by, and I mostly forgot about it, until I glanced at my calendar. That week's Wednesday was the 25th. I told myself it was stupid. It was just a story. But curiosity, it can be a dangerous thing. So, that night, I decided to test it. At exactly 11:59 p.m., I went into my room and turned off all the lights. I put on my best noise-canceling headphones, opened Spotify, and pulled up the song. As the clock struck midnight, I held my breath and pressed play. The intro started, perfectly normal. That iconic, funky bass line, the beat that everyone in the world knows, but then I heard something else. A faint static like the crackle of an old damaged vinyl record layered underneath the track. I tried to ignore it, telling myself it was a problem with my headphones. But the sound began to change. Michael's voice sounded deeper, more distant. And beneath it I could hear whispers. Not the background vocals, not part of the production. These were clear, distinct whispers. And they were saying something. My name. My heart started pounding. I grabbed my phone, trying to pause the song, but the screen was completely unresponsive. The player was frozen. And the more I panicked, the louder the whispers got. Then, the lamp on my nightstand flickered, and I realized with a wave of pure terror that the beat of the song was matching the rhythm of my own frantic breathing. It felt like the song was alive. It was listening to me. Then I heard it. Footsteps in the hallway outside my door. Slow, dragging footsteps, getting closer and closer. My entire body went rigid. I waited for that famous narration part, for Vincent Price's spooky voice to kick in, but when it came, it wasn't him. The voice was lower, rougher, and it didn't recite the classic lines. It just said my name, over and over. That's when I completely lost it. I scrambled to my computer, thinking I could just shut it all down. The screen was glitching, flashing a series of distorted, unrecognizable images. And for just a split second, I swear I saw Michael Jackson's face from the album cover. But his eyes, they were completely black. And he was smiling. A wide, unnatural smile. I bolted out of my room and ran. The music followed me, echoing from everywhere at once. It wasn't coming from my headphones anymore. The sound was in the walls, in the air. It was in the house. And then, a line from that Reddit post flashed in my mind, a sentence buried deep in the comments. The curse only ends when Thriller stops being the last thing you heard. With my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold it, I snatched my phone. I fumbled to open my music library, my fingers swiping frantically. I didn't care what it was, I just clicked on the very first song I could find. It was Billie Jean. The moment that legendary beat started, the moment the opening drums hit, Thriller stopped. Everything went completely unnervingly silent. I stood there in the dark, gasping for air, thinking it was finally over. A few minutes later, I cautiously went back to Reddit to find that post, to tell them they were right. But the post was gone. In fact, the entire subreddit, r unexplained audio, was gone. And when I checked my browser history, it showed I had never even visited that page. I tried to convince myself it was all just a crazy, elaborate glitch, a waking nightmare, until I opened Spotify. There it was, in my recently played list. Thriller, played at 12 a.m. Wednesday the 25th, but next to it the status didn't say last played, it said now playing. The track was paused, just waiting. Since that night, sometimes when it gets late, I still hear it, that beat. Faintly, somewhere far away, like it's just circling, coming back, to finish what it started. And then, last night, I got a message, an anonymous account, no username, no profile picture, just a link to the Thriller music video. Below it, there was no caption, no context, only a single, chilling line. Your turn to share. So, if you happen to be watching this on a Wednesday, and that Wednesday happens to be the 25th, do yourself a favor. Don't test it. Don't even think about it. Because somehow, the music always finds a new listener, and if you've listened this far, maybe the next one is you. Thanks for listening to my story. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay safe out there.